Okay, so today is May 4th, and wanted to go through a lot of the updates we've been pushing. Long story short, we built the product from the ground up a couple months ago based on feedback from customers. We feel really good about where it's at. Everything is really strong. There were several, as is very normal with rebuilds, there were several bugs we had to kind of get worked through. We're through all of that now, and the product's in a really good spot. And so just wanted to go through and update like item by item, kind of like the main things that we've built that may be useful to you, or if you're looking to come to us at a customer, why you should consider using us. Long story short, we are an AI-powered accounts payable and accounts receivable tool built specifically for the oil and gas industry. So everything we do is in line to get the data right for you guys as operators. Also, we have several non-ops who are working with us now, especially on the revenue side, because they receive a lot of revenue and they need help getting that taken care of from their accounting perspective. I'm going to start by going through our accounts payable workflow, and then I'll jump into our revenue portion of the app after that and just kind of go through high level, kind of some things we've built. So I'm going to start with just a sample invoice here. I'm going to go through. And traditionally, how platforms have worked is they've asked the user to either code things based off historical data or based off of manual entry. What we've done is we've factored in both historical, but we're also using these large language models to guess what your line items should be, how they should be coded, and we're taking that into account each step of the workflow. And so it's saving you time where you're not doing the manual entry, but you're still getting the data right. I'm going to go through and we'll look at this custom service one while it finishes uploading. But right now it's taking this data, it's passing it to the LLM, and then it's coming back to you and saying, hey, like here's how things should be coded out. And so I'm going to refresh the screen. We also allow our users to be able to forward it. Everybody gets a email forwarding address. And so most of our users, what they'll do is they'll forward things in. We also have a vendor portal. And so vendors can come in and onboard through the portal. And if you want them to submit invoices to the portal, that is an option. Okay, so coming into where we're at with this. And so this invoice came in, and so here's the list of kind of like the sample data that we have here, and it automatically knew, okay, it says Holman Silver Bell here, Silver Bells, it's probably going to be the Holman Silver Bell well, and that's what it's guessing it should be based on this historical data. It's pulling in the GL account, it's reading it, saying, hey, this looks like a Saltwater trucking. This is all based on all the data. We're giving it all the data, and then we're letting it make the decisions on the line item level for what it should be. Some features we've added that have been cool is sometimes our customers, they come in and they want more control of the line items. And so like if they want to like distribute one, they could distribute this one across several others. And so they would just click come in here, they click distribute, and they can delete the source line item and distribute it to the other one, or split it into other rows. Oftentimes if people aren't worried about like sales tax or something like that, that's a good use case for something like this. I'm going to cancel this, but I just wanted you to show that you can also collapse all the line items. And so that allows you to come in here and it puts it all into one instead of having to code it out in an individual web. Common if you have one invoice, let's say there's 25 line items, but you know it's all saltwater disposal, you could just collapse that all into one here. As far as payment methods go, there's some functionality that we've added. And so I'm just going to put in some sample data here. And we'll just do this, and then we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the account number. And then we'll just say Joltly demo account. And this will come through, and then this will save. And then so whenever you pay this vendor going forward, their ACH payment will be saved here. We have 2 forms of ACH that are available. And so you can do standard ACH, or you can do an expedited ACH, which is going to be a little bit quicker for our users. They'll come in and they can save payment. We also facilitate check payments as well. And now our users have a lot more control over which checks, where they want their checks to go. So I'm just going to put in fake address here just for the sake of the test. Let's go 11156 Oil Lane Drive. We'll come in and we'll just say Denver, Colorado. And then we'll just say 8405. We'll just do edit address here. We'll go 84059. Okay, and then we'll click save here. And we'll just go the approver here, and then we'll come in, and then so there'll be approval workflow. It'll come in and it will be approved. But I also want to show something else that we've done on the check side that I think is going to be valuable to a lot of you guys, giving you a lot more flexibility on the check sending portion. This is saying $19. It's same day checks are going to be, our checks are going to start at $199, and then we have different options now. So UPS Priority, UPS FedEx, overnight, and these are all just different optionality for you. The pricing, this is just our sample data, but our actual pricing and live data will be on our website. I'm going to show you this overnight just so you can kind of see how it works on our end. So if you need to overnight a check, for example, from our platform, you can come in, you can submit this for approval. I'm going to go ahead and submit this, and then I'm going to approve it. I'm going to schedule this check, and I'm actually going to just do pay now on it, just so you guys can see part of our workflow. And then so it's going to come in, and then there's going to be this check data, and then so I'm going to refresh this here, and and this is where you can actually see the check. And so you guys can come in, and this is mailed all on your behalf. You guys don't have to touch it. And then so this is like the example. Here's the amount. Here's the vendor that's being paid, the check number over here. Then when you come to this payments page as well, you can come in and you can see the data around it. And so this is just a test one, but let's say you did it. Let's say you overnighted a check. You would actually have like a real tracking number that's going to come in. That'll take you to FedEx, and you can kind of see the status of that. Now this is just test data, right? And so it's not going to be the real thing. But in production, it does work. So I wanted to show you that part of it. Some of the other cool features we've built. Let me go to some of these approved invoices, and you can kind of see here. Let's click on, let's see how some of these were tested. Let's filter by payment date. Okay, so this one is some testing data. Let's do this one. So now we have our sync status is live. So for some reason, the API we're hitting isn't working. We're going to flag that for you. And so it's just having to guess like, hey, like it's not pushing the quorum correctly, like what's going on. You now have real-time insight into that. You can email the vendor directly from our platform. And so if you're like, hey, Mr. Vendor, like we have a question about this invoice, we connect your Gmail or whatever email you're using to the account, and then you can email it directly instead of having to open up your inbox. That's something I found to be simple. And so you would just connect your mailbox there. And then you can also invite vendors to the vendor portal. And so it allows them to a secure way to upload payment information, any tax information that you want them to have. That's all going to be uploaded there. And then they actually can go to Joltly and sign in and have that vendor portal there. Also, any notes that you have, like sometimes we have vendors where it's like, let's just say the well they're working on is the Holman Silver Bell 1-10, but they just say Silver Bell. You could just add a note and say Silver Bell equals Holman Silver Bell 1-10. So who's ever coming through and coding stuff, just simple way to reminder. Oftentimes with vendors, you get the same repetitive things, and so this is a way to streamline that and work through that. Okay, let's jump to the revenue portion of the app now and kind of show you some of the updates we've been pushing there. What I want to show is, let's do this Plains Marketing one, for example. And so what our users can do is they're able to come through and upload their statements. The AI will read it and automatically code it out on a line item level for them. And then we'll let you export it in the way that you need to for your customer. And so, or for your accounting data. And so, like if you're on PAC, if you're on Quorum, or whatever you're using, we can export the data to match whatever accounting system that you need. And so that's all going to push in there that way. You can edit it, you can export it, reprocess it. If you just want to be able to see more of the thing, you can hide that. We also give the ability to distribute partners. This test account isn't set up with it, but let me go to one that is. I'll kind of show you how that works. This one's generally going to be more targeted towards our customers on QuickBooks. However, there's no reason it wouldn't work with our other customers. Generally, if a QuickBooks customer is coming to us, it's because they need a way to distribute revenue and do JIB payments, which we do allow for. Oftentimes, if you're on like ODA or PAC, you'll do that inside your accounting system itself and get that data in there and do that revenue disbursement that way. But I can still kind of do a walkthrough and show how that works. And so here, you'd come in. Let me just do some test mapping here just so it works for the sake of this test. And so you'll come in, and then you'd click distribute to partners, and then it would distribute to your partners here. And then you come into your partners page, and you could see you need to be settlements, distributions, and then you can actually see how things are coming through to your partners. And you can say, hey, this was how much we needed to give out to this partner for this month, for this period of time. And because we are a fintech, that allows us to facilitate, you can actually send the payment to your partner directly from Joltly instead of having to cut a check as well. So you can do an ACH payment, and you can email them a remittance of that. Same for JIBs. This Generally, with Jibs, this is going to be our QuickBooks customers who are looking for a way to do Jibs. Originally, QuickBooks isn't good for joint interest billing. It just doesn't work well with it. We've built Joltly to facilitate that, and so now we'll pull in all of your transactions data from QuickBooks, and then we'll map that to the expenses accordingly. So let me kind of show you how that works here. As you have here's the well that's being mapped in, rent, lease, miscellaneous there, and then this is all going to go. And then the vendors, the payment link to this as well. And so they can actually pay it directly from Joltly. We've integrated with a company called Move, and they're facilitating the back-end payments on all of this. And so that's high level on the revenue side. Revenue also has an email forwarding address, and so you can forward your statements here. The AI will read them, and then we'll export them in the way that you need. Some quality life things, we added mode as well. And so a lot of our users, especially just like iStrain, I found this was actually one of the most popular things we built with the update, which was kind of fun. Functionality is going to be all the same. Settings have been updates. We also just added functionality for saltwater disposal as well. So this is one that we had requests come in custom from some operators in Texas who need to do the Texas Railroad Commission filings. We do the same thing, and so you can forward in your saltwater statements here. It's going to automatically prep all of it for you. That data is going to come in. We're going to flag it, read it, and we're going to give you all of the data you need on the P18s, and so we'll generate those P18s automatically for you. We have more features still coming down the line. This was a very high-level overview. If you have more specific questions, jump on a call with me. I'm one of the founders, as well as my co-founder Tyler. We can kind of go through more in depth on how Joltly can help you automate as an operator. We're really excited about the direction. We have so many things that we're really, really excited about down the line, and we fully plan on making back office as easy as possible, integrating with your guys' current systems. So any questions that come up, I will do a link to my Calendly below, so you can schedule a time for us to chat, and we can go from there.